Hey guys, what's going on? It's Christian Olson with Berkshire Hathaway with Mike Frank.
What's going on? What's going on?
What we got going on?
Are we reliving 2008?
Well, we got one other thing before that. What do you mean?
No, it's after that.
We're not...
Before, after.
Oh, hell
Before,
no. No, we ain't reliving 2008. What are you talking about?
Liv goes, I wrote it. I know it's first. Yo, catch some new dead presidents. Home buyer event at Barcosina down in Fells Point, August 18th, right before we head out to Summit. 6 p.m. It's a Thursday night. We're going to have cocktails, some tacos, and we're going to taco about real estate.
Yeah.
Have we made that pun yet?
Not yet.
We're about to taco about
it.
That's good. I didn't make it up. I just said it. Anyway, all right. So Christian wants to talk now. Are we reliving 2008? How old were you in 2008?
I was actually thinking about this when you were recording the Facebook video. 11, 12?
We were 11.
Y'all are
I don't know. What grade is that?
We were in...
It's like 5th, 6th?
We graduated
Sixth?
5th grade.
Yeah,
And we were in 6th grade now.
Yeah, I was probably playing like Call of Duty or something, not worrying about the housing market back then.
I actually didn't know that it even happened until way later, like high school.
Well,
Somebody
yeah,
told
because,
me.
you know, it affected different areas differently. And the irony is that you are not the target market of people that were afraid of it because you weren't around, right? There are people that suffered in 2008, 2009, 2010. People that didn't make boodles of money in the market boom, 2005.
Now, can you explain the suffering part a little bit more? Because when you just say that, it's like, okay, home values weren't the same
tough.
of what the loan was.
It's not even about home values, dude.
So,
Like, think about this. Somebody comes home from work one day and their husband just got laid off from their job. Their family lost half or the better majority of their income. People suffered. It was tough. Not for some people. And I'm thankful. Like, I'm gracious for that. My parents have lived a very stable life my whole life. But there were a lot of people that suffered and they didn't have an income. They didn't have the ability to go out and provide. And finding a job was impossible. And then you layer over the housing market, which is where people are concerned today that we're going to have a housing market recession because of what happened in 2008, because people were losing their houses and short selling their houses and foreclosures and deed in lieu and all these things that don't happen today.
okay.
That's what the concern
Then
is.
first, okay, but I think before we dive into are we reliving 2008, how did it exactly happen?
I mean, geez Louise.
You gotta start somewhere.
I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? So, I wasn't here. So
Where
like,
were you?
I wasn't that old, right? I was just in like college graduation mode. 2008. That was like I just graduated high school 4 years earlier.
Okay.
You guys are so much older than us.
Yo, that is rude.
It's
Boomer.
crazy what you talk about.
Boomer.
Boomer alert.
But I mean, I wasn't like suffering in the same way. I was working restaurant jobs and working in between things. Like I was creating an
Slinging
opportunity
drinks.
for myself, slinging drinks, but not, you know, I didn't own a home. I didn't have any kind of like heavy debt. I wasn't suffering in that way. But what caused the housing market crash was just there's probably a really good word for this, but an imbalance of proper lending tactics, right? The good one is somebody wants to buy a home in 2008. They bought a home in 2005, and they bought that house for $500,000. They just sold that house last month, and now they want to buy a $1.4 million house, which is great, but they only make $95,000. Well, they would just state their income. Oh, I make $95,000. Here's my pay stubs from my $95,000 job. But then, like, also, I make an extra $20,000 doing this other thing, and I make an extra $5,000 doing this third thing. And then my wife, did I mention that she's a nurse and she makes $170,000? And there's like very little proof.
Just thinking about stated income being like valid to lenders back then, like how do they not think of this earlier? Like they just fly right over the head. Where Ryan said they were just chill about it,
yeah,
and it wasn't as regulated and things like that. But it seems like regardless if you're a mortgage lender or you're doing a car loan or lending your buddy a couple $1,000, like what are the odds this person can pay me back? Do they actually make what they Say?
All right, so like go to the car loan, right? You just bought a car. Congratulations, boom.
Thank you.
How is your car, by the way?
It's fantastic.
So I said something to John when we came home yesterday. I said, "How's just Christian's car?" And he goes, "I don't know." And I go, "What's wrong? You can't hear it?" Hey.
How's it feel to have a slow car?
Yo,
A slower
that's
car.
mean. I was fucking crucked in my car yesterday. Anyway, so I think when you're buying a car on a auto loan like that, it's kind of a stated income loan. Like, how much do you make? How much do you want? Okay.
I had to send in all my information.
How much information did you send in?
W-2s, tax forms, like
Damn.
everything.
Tesla law is running like a fucking government.
It was a credit union.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got a 1.99 rate, so
I mean,
I'll
I
send
know
them whatever
about that.
document they
Yeah,
want
yeah,
if I can get that.
But I think, and that echoes the issue, right? So people would take a 4% rate if they don't have to send the information. So, like, what if in 2008, and I don't know this to be factual, but what if in 2008 the opportunity was present to get a 5% rate? Or take X at 9%, and somebody goes, yeah, sure, whatever, market's great, I'll take it.
Interesting.
Plus, the person that is going to get the 1.99% rate isn't going to default.
Right.
The person that's like, fuck that, I don't want to do that, those are the people that are risky.
Yeah.
Right? Companies are risk averse. So if you're in today's market, you're saying, hey, why would anybody ever do that? But I think the reality is that we all have seen it happen. We've seen people go through these stated income loans. I mean, I think every car I've ever gotten has been a stated income loan. I don't think I've ever provided anything.
Really?
I don't think so.
It's really hard to believe. I don't know about you, Liv, but like hearing this is just, it's unreal.
I mean,
Like anything that I really wanted to buy growing up or like finance or anything, like always had to provide some kind of documentation.
yeah, I mean, you got to give your social security number. They got to pull your taxes. But like, your taxes aren't really showing. Like if you have 90 grand in tax income, but you make 10 grand on the side, you got 20 grand on the side. Oh, I play guitar at the local watering hole and I make $1,000 a month. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think that it's a logical way to do business. The problem was that combine that with the market, combine that with 2000s keeping up with the Kardashians, combine that with just kind of where we are as a society. People want to buy something fancier, and if they can, they're going to. So that's how we end up here.
I want to give my stated income and live in the hills.
Buy a house first.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the commonality in today's market is, are we back in the 2008 market crash? I mean, it's an obvious answer. No.
Yeah, it's a crock of shit.
Boom. We're done. Tune out.
Later.
All right. So a lot of reasons that people are thinking about this kind of stuff, right? The prices are high, right? So for 2 years, we've been hearing people go, I'm going to wait until next year because the prices are high. Or interest rates are crazy right now. Well, now they're crazier. So, like, what's the interest rate on your rental?
That's 100%.
100%.
100.
People will say things like, oh, the stock market correction. Or like, oh, the market's cooling down. What does that mean to you? I hear you say it, but what does it mean to you? The stock market correction. Okay, so explain to me that. Well, the stock market correction, I have a lot of money invested in stocks. I don't want to pull it out to put down a big down payment. Well, did you know that there's only a 3% down payment option? Right? Like, no, I still want to, wait it out.
They talk about all these, like, the stock market correction, oh, it's going to crash, all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. When it comes to actually buying a home and what it means and how you do it, clueless.
Right.
And it's like, if you don't know one side of the story, why are you preaching about this side? Like, go talk to a real estate professional about those 3% down instead of paying 100% on your rental.
Yep.
Whatever the stock market's doing, whatever. Totally different from real estate market.
Yeah.
And we had this conversation, I don't know, before you went on vacation, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that.
3 weeks ago.
And the housing market is not in recession.
Right. Because a recession is ultimately 10% loss in value. So we're not even remotely in that position. We're not even in a loss in value position today.
No.
Right? What we've lost the potential earned income that was last month, 2 months ago, 4 months ago.
Explain. Like how we were...
all right. So a house on Banana Lane listed for $350 would sell 4 months ago for how much?
380 to 400, maybe.
Sure. Let's call it 385.
Sure.
That's great. But now your house today is worth what?
You said we listed it before at 350. I would say maybe it's selling for 375,
I wouldn't even go that far.
Yeah,
I would say
probably
360, 355.
Yeah.
So like the real estate professional that did the market evaluation back then listed it for 350, and now today it's worth marketably the same, if not a little bit more. That's an appreciation of value. Just because last month some dingleberry came in from Chicago and needed to buy a house and paid cash and 35 grand overpriced, they needed to secure that land. They didn't care about market value.
Right.
So they overpaid. And that's an election. That's not the market.
Now, question, do you think appreciation is slowing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, only time will tell.
Right.
But I think in the end of the day, what we're going to see is the people that have these excuses are the same people that bought in 2020. They're the people that bought in 2019. They're the people that bought in 2018. The national average home sale happens every 7 years. So, you know, you haven't even bought more than the average. Let's get down to the people that bought in 2015. Like myself, bought in 2016, looking to upgrade.
Hey, do you need a realtor?
No.
Why not?
I'm just doing a big renovation on my house. I'm not upgrading. I love where I live. Amazing. Somebody should make a slogan out of that. If you don't know that we did.
They should all know.
You should know now. All right, so I think the difference between 2008 and today is the difference in lending. And so this you probably don't know. We don't talk about this a lot, but in 2013 they came out with the Dodd-Frank Act. It has nothing to do with me. Dodd-Frank was a bill that was passed in the Senate, blah, 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 and it guides the way that we do lending today. Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, RESPA. Real Estate Settlement, yeah.
That's on the test like 80 times.
Yeah, RESPA. All passed 2015, 2012, 2017, stuff like that, right? So there's been a lot of bills passed to control the way that lending happens in our country.
Okay.
That's it. We're done. Second time.
Oh, show's over.
Show's over.
Bye-bye.
Anyway,
Bye-bye.
interesting factoids. In 2008, the average homeowner credit score was 699. Today, the average homeowner credit score is
751.
751. 52 points higher today than it was in 2008.
And these are averages.
Yeah.
And so when people hear that 699, they're like, wow, that's actually pretty good. But when you think about it as an average, there's going to be people on both ends.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that play into that. A lot of things that people don't understand. But the key to remember here is that the average person is carrying a better credit score today than they were 14 years ago. Crazy. 14 years ago.
Do you know why?
I have no idea. I didn't know if you knew. I thought you were going to drop some information.
Yeah,
I was very
No,
impressed.
I was just asking.
Well, we should find that out.
I mean...
Do you think it's fair
What?
how high your credit score has to be to buy a house? Like, do you think they've made it too hard? Is it unfair now?
Is it unfair how hard it is? No,
Yeah.
you can buy a house with
Like-
580 credit score. Honestly, I think that the people that have the credit scores that don't qualify to buy a home are neglecting their own responsibility. Mm-hmm. I really do. Like, I'm sorry. People go through difficult situations. People suffer, and I do understand that. And I want to help people get a better credit score. But there's more to the credit score. Like, we've got great clients. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but you know who you are, right? And they've got mid 600 credit scores. It's not the credit score that's holding them back from qualifying for a home. It's other things.
Yeah.
Now, if you have an 800 credit score, those other things go away because there's less overlay, there's less responsibility, there's less strict rules. But, like, if you're floating around with a 520 credit score, like, what are you doing wrong?
Right.
Come on. And if you have that low of a credit score, it's easy to raise. Pay off your debt. Take care of what you need to take care of. Stop telling me that you're challenging 7 things on your credit report. You're paying some dude $100 a month to challenge 7 things on your credit report. What if you just paid $1,200 towards your shit?
Yeah.
And it's stupid, right? Like, it's just dumb. So my personal opinion, no, I think it's fucking fine. You could buy a house with 580 credit score. Get out of here. I even think there's loan programs for 560.
Really?
I think so. They're not mine.
We gotta look this up.
No,
What about
I'm not
the
trying to
fact
look
that
that
like
up.
the whole credit score thing didn't even start until the 90s?
Yeah, but like, who's buying a house today that doesn't have a credit?
Scores were created
Yeah.
in the 90s.
Correct.
Yeah, we need to get Liv a microphone.
We do.
Somebody just talked about that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either, actually.
Yeah, so it's like, well, this is just the argument.
Here, come. Share your valuable knowledge for the people.
I don't have valuable knowledge.
Yes, you do.
Can you hear me? I can't.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I just know that people, me and Christian's age, we like to say that like it's not fair and that we can't buy houses because credit was literally invented by these people who now judge us for not having a good credit score.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? When you bought a house in 1999, you didn't even fucking have a credit score.
Oh, she cussed. Calling them out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I'm not challenging that. In my mind, the way I look at it is it's so easy to get credit. Now, getting good credit is tough. It's fucking impossible. I
think there's also a lot of accountability that needs to be talked about. Like people, when they get their credit card, they just go start
well, that's
racking it
because they
up.
don't understand.
They don't.
Nobody shares the ways to get a good credit score.
But it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
You know, like I've had
Bye-bye, Liv.
a credit card, I think, since probably community college because I wanted to get a laptop.
I thought you were just about to say you had a credit card since communion.
I don't know how old people are when they're at communion.
Oh no.
I didn't go to like. All right. Can we edit that part out?
For reference, Christian also thought that strawberry milk comes from strawberry cows. Anyway, no, I think that it's a logical system. It's a good foundation, and I think that people need to have conversations more quickly, whether it's buying a car, buying a house, or what it means to, what it means to give somebody your social security number. Well, maybe you shouldn't give it out to just anyone. No. But when you're getting a BG&E account or when you're getting a gas and electric bill, they ask for your social security number. Yeah, that's normal. It's not normal when some dude hits you up on Instagram, cough, cough, Andrea, and asks for that information, right? Like,
hey, Liv was in the same boat the other day.
Yo, she didn't send it, did you?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, I fell for it.
I don't know about the social thing, but there's some PayPal. She's like, oh my God, this is like.
No, I thought it was real. And they got me. And I was like, I'm getting all my information. Jesus Christ. It was perfect.
I mean, I was sitting there doing my.
Seen the webpage.
It was pretty close. It was like really.
Only you couldn't click on the links. They made a fake website, and the links were just words with underlines.
And then on the side, how they have like the bar that you hit, and all the other stuff comes out. You couldn't access any of that.
But you couldn't click on it. It's just there. Oh, they did a good job.
Kudos.
And then she was on the phone, like on hold for
I'm like
so long.
sad and kudos. Like kudos to the people that do it, but sad for you. Anyway, but the moral of the story is, Jesus Christ, I can't believe this just happened.
Where's the soundboard sound for that?
I think it's the same one. It's definitely not this. Anyway.
I don't know, it might be.
Jesus. No, don't give out your shit. Also, like, people should be taking time to figure out how they can benefit from X, right? If you get a credit card at Macy's, are you benefiting? Are you benefiting from having 17 credit cards? Maybe you should be thinking about these things. Like, am I going to benefit from eating a burger and French fries and 7 onion rings? No, you're not. I mean, it's going to feel good. It's going to feel bad later.
Hey, we're having some burgers tonight.
Where?
At Abbey Burger.
Oh, I thought that got changed. No, Abbey Burger, Mount Wash. But I thought that got changed. Anyway, I don't know. So, I mean, the point is, if you come back, basically the key here is that it's not hard to get credit. It's not hard to manage your credit. And you need to be having conversations. Like when I was early on in real estate, all I was doing was sitting down with people looking at their credit score. Like, hey, what's your credit score? Oh, it's 680. Well, why aren't you buying a house? Oh, I don't have the income. Well, let's talk about that. Right? But a lot of people don't know their credit score. That kind of blows my mind too. Right? Like freecreditreport.com, Credit Karma.
It's like the number one.
The government gives you the right to pull your own credit report once a year, and I don't remember how to do it.
Don't you go to one of the bureaus?
Maybe. I don't know. But you have the right to pull all 3 once a year for free.
Yep.
I don't know. But like, you can get the information. If you're worried, you're probably doing something wrong.
Like, do your research. You know, if some of these goals are important to you, like buying a home or getting that car, or just maintaining good credit.
Yeah.
Do your research. It's like when you get into the market, talk to multiple agents. Do your research, like about certain cards, about certain companies. How can you get your credit score where you want it to be to where you can start, you know, applying for some of these loans. I mean, you talk about getting one for 580, but I don't know if that's, you know, going to be super beneficial to that person.
Right.
And if you could have a much higher credit score, maybe you can get in some better programs.
Right. Shout out to Ryan and Jordan Curley from First Home Mortgage. They put out a stat. By 2011, 1 in every 4 homeowners was underwater in their home, meaning they had zero equity. How much underwater, I can't answer for you, but 1 in 4 had zero equity. That's 25% had zero equity. And today, only 2.5% have less than 10% equity. So we're literally talking about like practically nobody in the market is underwater in their home.
I would like to know how many people were in the market or how many homeowners there really were, and then the 25% of that.
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Math.
I mean, you'd have to know how many people own a home in America.
Yeah.
And I have no idea.
A lot of people.
A lot of fucking people.
And to think 25%?
25%. The other thing that's wildly dramatically different, and this is going to go off topic, sorry, but real estate is not a sales position. You get paid for selling a home, right? And I get that. But this is an industry of psychology. It's an industry of math. It's an industry of human dynamic, right? Like this whole mass people exodus from the city, mass people moving into the city, mass people moving to the county. Oh, what about this style of living or that style of living? Well, I mean, New York City has been consistent throughout all of COVID on the values of their units, but they've never been in this position of like mass 25 offers on one property.
Yeah.
Because it's New York City. It's a different dynamic than the rest of the country. Mm-hmm. So if you're not thinking about the dynamic that exists, what about there's just not enough new construction homes in the world?
Well, I was doing some research and I heard new construction was up like 30%.
New construction build or new construction sale? Ooh, because new construction sale being up 30%, I believe a million times over. Okay. Think about how many people put a deposit on a new construction over the last 2 years that are just finally going to sale.
Probably a lot of
probably a ton.
Yeah.
But how many people are entering into the new construction market today? 30% more than last year? No fucking way. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, yeah, no, not that.
There's no way.
No.
There's no way. It has to be sale. It has to be a backlog of people that are closing on their home. I can't imagine that that's people going under contract.
No.
So I just think to myself, like, there's a dynamic of people that want to be close proximity to their work, their township, or otherwise that the real estate market can't keep up with. Mm-hmm. And so as long as that exists and you buy into a market where people want to be, the market is going to be strong and it's going to continue to grow until there's a tragedy.
Yeah.
Remember, 2008 was an anomaly. It was the first time ever. Okay. The last 5 recessions. Now, don't quote me on the dates, right? But the last 5 recessions, only 2008 lost more than 1.1% of home value. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
Equity review mailer number 1.
Hey, man.
Damn.
I sent mine out. I'm about to make the calls.
Jeez. Look out for people, Christian. You could tell them what's up in the real estate market by reviewing your equity review because Christian doesn't pay attention.
I do. Hey, I practice my scripts, all right?
Yeah. But I don't remember the dates, but it was something like 2008, there was a recession. Housing values lost like 19%, right? 2001, I think there was a recession. Housing values went up by 6%. Yeah. 1997, there was a recession. Housing values were down by like 0.11 or 1.1%. And then the 2 prior were like 89 and 87 or something like that. And they were like 4 and 5% up respectively, which means that in a recession of the economic market, the housing market continued to grow in 3 of the last 5 sessions. So why would we think that we're equal to the worst one just because today is different? Because it's the most thing of recent memory.
And people are crazy.
And mothers out there want to look out for their daughters, right? Like people want to check out for their kids. They want to make sure that people are taken care of and they don't want you to overspend. So in the end of the day, we want people to make sure that they understand the market, learn what they have to do, and understand that, hey, 6% is a whole lot better than 100. That's all I'm saying.
True that. And it's also better than, putting off your search even more and maybe waiting for the Fed to meet again. Then they raise interest rates even more. And now you put your home search off another 6 months, another year.
Yeah.
And then what happens, right? Like you're losing out on so much money and you could lock in at your 5 to, 6.5 rate.
Yeah.
Build up some equity over the next couple of years and then upgrade your home later on down the line. And then even if you don't buy another home, you stay in that one longer. If the interest rates drop, just refinance.
I mean, I think that what we're going to be fighting in the next year, what we're going to be fighting is people that bought a home over the last 3, 5, 7 years, maybe even longer. People that bought a home at 3, 4% equity. People that refied at 3, 4%, right? People that are locked in these long 30-year mortgages and they're looking at buying in today's market at 6%. What's their motivation? What's their intent? What's their reasoning for entering the market? What is the purpose that they seek to accomplish? And a lot of people will say, I don't want to enter the market because I don't have a reason or a purpose. Well, why don't we take that equity that you're growing and flip it into an investment so that you're not losing growth opportunity in today's real estate market, tomorrow's, 2007, 2020, 2050. We don't want you to lose opportunity in what we know is a growing market. Where we are today is a whole lot farther than where we were in 2008 when you guys were in 5th grade, which blows my mind. But I think that people are going to take the opportunity to back away because it's scary, and it's our job to educate them and show them exactly what we can do in today's market to help them grow their equity.
Yeah.
So I think, as you look into this market, as you look into where are we today, are we reliving 2008? We should be considering, hey, we're seeing a market shift, a market cool down, not a crash. And a cool down goes something like this. House is on the market for 11 days. It's got a lot of showings, no offers. It's Monday. We have 3 agents calling us from last week's showings. Hey, do you have any offers? That's a market normality. Hey, lots of showings, no activity. All of a sudden, we put in the work. The agents are saying, hey, this is something we're interested in. Let's make an offer.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that, with me being a newer agent that I'm not super familiar with, the past year, it's just been kind of like go, see as many homes as you can, how many offers they got, when are they due, and then you try and get yours in by the due date. And here, I've seen this actually the past couple of weeks on a lot of my showings and a lot of my calls I've been making to agents, like homes are on the market for, 10 days, maybe 20, maybe whatever. And they might have a slight price adjustment, maybe 10,000. Maybe they do another one. But it's just interesting that, the market that I've been in has just been so go. And this is like,
it's drastically different. Yeah. I think the other thing is that this is the opportunity for sharks to strike.
Yeah.
Right? Like money is made when the market is cool. Right? I forget the saying, but the rich get richer when the market's on fire. And we're not talking about like, oh my God, the market is so hot. When everybody else is like scared and afraid, that's when the rich double down, right? Are you going to be one of those people that's scared and afraid? Are you going to double down, take some risk, and build yourself the opportunity to grow your equity? I mean, if you plan it correctly, you should be able to build in every single market, right?
Well, it was interesting, the conversation that we had. We were talking about, the past, I don't know, what are you doing?
I was looking at something.
Oh, the past couple of months, or even years, the market's been growing at an exponential rate, and now we see it maybe growing instead of 3 to 5%. Well, not growing, but people putting offers 3 to 5% over. Maybe they're doing 2 or a little bit less.
Yeah. Let me ask you an interesting question. What was the market growth in our market in the last 12 months?
Is our market just Maryland?
Sure. We're looking for like a round number. 10%.
Okay.
Sure.
I didn't know.
What is the average market growth in a random year? Look over 2010. Look over 2014. Look over 2019. Average market growth.
5%.
3 to 5%.
Okay.
So like, great, we're slowing down from 10% growth to like 3 to 5% growth. Great. Fucking great.
But even if you look at that growth, instead of 10, instead of 3 to 5, maybe it's 2. Even on a slow year, a $300,000 house, if you're making 2% over the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years, still a good chunk of change.
Dude, 2% over 4 years is $24,000.
Yeah.
$24,000 that you're putting towards equity, $24,000 that you're growing. Now that $300,000 house is $324,000. Lest we forget, we're paying down principal. In 4 years, we're going to pay down about. You can do it. Math. Well, no, I'm like backwards mathing, right? So like in 3 to 4 years, we're going to pay down. If you put down 5% on a conventional loan, you're going to be at about 11, 12% of equity on your $300,000 purchase. So remember, you're now at $30,000, $33,000 in equity plus your $24,000 that you gained by the time you sell the property. Let's go backwards. So, I mean, you're literally looking at like probably profiting 30, 35 grand, depending on how your expenses work out.
Yeah.
Right. And that's 3 to 4 years of just paying your mortgage payment, paying your mortgage payment, paying your mortgage payment.
Then what if you were to do some upgrades on top of that?
I mean, what if the market turned?
But it ain't.
But what if it did?
It doesn't matter.
Because in the end of the day, you've got that 30K. You've got that opportunity that what if you didn't gain 2% each year? What if you gained 2%, 2%, 2%, and then lost 7%? Well, you'd be like 1% in the hole, right?
Yeah.
Because your housing value would go down.
I was trying to think how many 2% you said.
Right? But then you've paid off so much equity in your monthly payment that you've built your principal amount. Worst case scenario, in that situation, you still end up walking away with $4 or $5 grand.
Yep.
So like, is it bad?
I feel like it's the way people view real estate.
In my opinion, it's actually the way people view things.
Well, same thing.
Right? Like, I talked earlier about FOMO, right? Like sellers wanting to sell high because they're not just greedy. They're just afraid. They're fear of missing out. And I think what buyers are saying today, what I'm hearing a lot of buyers say today is that, well, the market might turn and I'd rather buy when it's low. Like, Biddy, why not buy an investment property when it's low? Why not let yourself gain equity over the next 6 months, 12 months? You know, if you're really going to have that argument, what you should be doing is you should be calculating the value between, if I make this mortgage payment today, by the time the market turns, how much can I save per month? How much would I have to save to buy my future home, right? Like, let's say I buy a $300,000 home today, but I really want to buy a $500,000 house. Okay, I would have to save $600 a month over the next 4 years. So 48 months to buy the $500,000 house. Well, great. If the market turns between now and 4 years from now, you'll be able to buy a $500,000 house if you don't buy today. But if you buy today and the market turns in 4 years or further, you'll be able to buy the $500,000 house. And in the meantime, you're growing equity, you're gaining opportunity, you're creating value for yourself and for your family. Like, it doesn't even make sense to me. And to me, it's just a big excuse of people that don't want to commit to their boyfriends, girlfriends, create an opportunity, want to feel bad for themselves.
You're calling people out right now.
I mean, dude, I don't think positively of people that just sit there and go, no.
Yeah, no.
Now, I'm one of those people for starters. Like, it takes a lot for me to jump in, but I'm not the person that goes, I don't think it's the right time. Cause that's just like stupid.
Yeah.
If you don't have the money, you don't have the money. Let's find a grant program to help you get there. Right. I just broke up with my boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. Like, I'm going through some things. Okay. How can I help you get through there? What's your long-term goal? I don't want to think about it right now. Shut up. Right. Like, I understand that you need time. I'm with you.
You know what we should start doing? Creating vision boards for these people. Or bringing them
literally
in.
Thinking about that this morning. I had like the greatest drive to Tawny Town this morning.
They're having their magazine. They're getting their scissors, snipping out of the
We
house,
should offer everybody to join us on that. We should.
A vision board event.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to fucking buy a goddamn Range Rover.
What happened? You don't
It's on
want?
my vision board. We are buying a car. It comes in on Saturday.
I know.
I thought you
Super.
got it. I thought you got it today.
I got my car.
Oh.
It was in the shop.
That's what it was.
Did you see my car?
What happened? No.
Ooh.
What? Oh, the wheels and stuff.
Yeah. It
forgot.
actually looks. It makes my car look bad because the wheels are so fucking nice.
I need to wash mine.
Yeah. Well, that's basically what they did. They like washed them, powder coated them, and put them back together.
What color are they now?
Black. It's like a little Batmobile.
We match. Twins.
Except your car's not as fun to drive.
Yours isn't as fast.
His is like a roller coaster. Genuinely, have you been in it?
Yes, I've been in it.
Ah, roasted.
I'm offended. I also like don't drive like that when Liv's in the car.
That's bullshit.
Why?
We should. I will. Let's go.
Let's have a race.
A race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can watch me leave Mike in the dust.
You should see John race his fucking. Oh my god. Anyway, all right. Back to normal. We fucking got off topic.
You have 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
All right. My name's
this shit
Christian
out.
Olson with Berkshire Hathaway. You can follow me on IG at Christian the Deadhead and TikTok, the Deadhead Realtor. Mike.
You could find us on TikTok, on Instagram at Frank Oliver Co. Or you could find me at Michael Frank ____. Just to put a big fucking parentheses on.
A million underscores, actually.
Bet. We'll
Boom.
talk to you guys soon.
See ya.